Hi. Jan is almost as good a reader as she is a writer. Um, I'm going to read a piece from my novella in Flash, which should be published with ad hoc fiction shortly. And Jan was kind enough to read it before I sent it off. And she told me that, well, she was full of lots of encouraging things, as she always is, but she told me that she felt that it could do with another two flashes to kind of flesh it out slightly. And she was right, though those flashes sort of flowed from my pen immediately and sort of just were obviously there in my unconscious already. But anyway, this piece was already published by Retreat West, so it wasn't one of those, but I thought it'd be fitting to read it today. The piece is called Yaya Burns Olive Leaves to Ward Off the Evil Eye. This year, as every year, Hope spends the long summer in Cyprus. Flip-flops slap on sun-bleached lanes as she walks to her grandparents' house. By the prickly pear cacti she once fell into, a car stops for directions. She voices her linguistic limitations. Then milo eliniga. Hears the words that curve from others' mouths grow spiky in her own. The passengers laugh, her unbelonging a joke, because already the sea has turned her native, smooth and brown as Uncle Sava's donkey. Yesterday, her father told her, eyes dancing with ironic pride, that Cyprus may be small, but they've the world's biggest donkeys. Uncle Sava's is the last of its kind in the village. It looms sleek and serious, nothing like the woolly Eeyores of home. Hope misses her dog and her best friend Lucy, the dew on lush lawns, puddings and spoiled by rosewater. At the house at the top of the hill, Yaya and Bapu greet her with wet kisses, shiny cheeks, encouraging smiles. She sits, bare toes just touching stone floor. The scratch of straw seat on bare thigh, the bruise of wooden slats through cotton vest, the trickle of sweat between shoulder blades. Bapu offers her all his English. Windy, always an appropriate word in this coastal place, even in high summer, and the contents of the fridge. She assents to the watermelon she watched him cut yesterday. Vermilion flesh turned rubbery now at the edges. Shakes her head to Gligo. Last year she gagged at the lump of candied rind. Bapu pours himself a shot of chilled cognac. Hope offers them her morning at the sea. Thalassa, she says, unable to share the wonder of the octopus curled around a rock, a kingfisher that flashed by her shoulder. She doesn't correct them when they call her Elpida, Yaya's name and the Greek translation of her own. Hope, an anglicised name born of her parents' pity, a name her friends can pronounce. Yaya moves her stool to the courtyard, grabs a rabbit by the ears as it lollops by, invites Hope to pet its skewbald fur. Now its nostrils pulsate, breath thrums its body back and forth. But she knows this is a favourite easily caught. Soon Yaya will slit its throat and fry it with eggs. Hope closes her heart. She can't suppress a smile when Yaya removes her knotted headscarf, unspools two plaits from her head, and lets down her fairy tale hair, still surprisingly chestnut. Bapu smiles with his eyes, refills his glass. Before Hope leaves, Yaya reaches for a steel brigi, fills the pot with mysterious things, sets it to light on the stove. Smoke comes, earthy and other, smelling of the east. Now high priestess, she wafts the billows towards Hope, incants in whispers. Hope does not know what this is, but she knows it means love. Thank you.